And then in New York City, speculation is swirling over a possible shakeup in the race for mayor. Reports now surfacing that President Trump is considering offering Eric Adams and Curtis Sliwa White House jobs or administration jobs. The goal is to set up a one-on-one match between Andrew Cuomo and Democratic Socialist Zohran Mamdani. Let's bring in Fox News contributor Karl Rove. And Mamdani heard about this, and he called an emergency press conference. Here's what he said.
It's not a question about the president's endorsement. If this was only about the question of who Donald Trump would put his face on their palm card for, I wouldn't be having a press conference with you calling it an emergency. What this is about is Donald Trump seeking to narrow this race with the pure intent of trying to stop our candidacy and the willingness of Democrats to not only consider this, but to actively engage and pursue this as their political strategy.
So, Karl, we only have speculation about this possible offering to Eric Adams and Curtis Sliwa. Hypothetically, could that work in this case to try to prevent Mamdani from winning?
Well, it could, but I think this is, first of all, I think the fact that it was announced, it leaked out that this attempt was supposedly being made to offer a job at HUD to Adams and to find a slot for Curtis Sliwa. I think it probably means that they attempted it and it's not going to work out. It certainly gave Mamdani a chance to go on the offense against Donald Trump, who, after all, in the city of New York got about a third of the vote, thereabouts. And so I'd say right now, tactical short-term victory for Mamdani, because we're not talking about what he believes and the weird positions he's taken, particularly in the past. Instead, we're talking about, is Donald Trump trying to defeat him?
Yeah, what I find curious is that, like, Eric Adams didn't just kick this to the curb. He was sort of kind of like hemming and hawing about it. This is the second time now in a month that the New York Times has reported on this. And in early August, they had Andrew Stein, who used to be a city councilman here in New York. Mark Penn was down at the White House. I think at a minimum, they're bending Trump's ear on this. I think then the question goes to, can Trump exact change on Curtis Sliwa and Eric Adams to get a one-on-one contest?
Well, hard to do, particularly if it's one thing if this had happened in June. It's another thing when it happens less than 90 days from the election. I think this is, this all works to Mamdani's benefit at this point, because it gives him a chance to not talk about, I got a lot of free stuff and I don't have any way to pay for it, and I said ugly things about the New York Police Department, and rather than being talked about those, he goes on the offense against Donald Trump, whose favorable ratings in New York have to be pretty low. Interesting
also to hear Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez asking Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer, where are you? Are you going to endorse Mamdani or not? Here she is.
I am very concerned about the example that is being set by anybody in our party. If an individual doesn't want to support the party's nominee now, it complicates their ability to ask voters to support any nominee later, whether that is mayoral, presidential, what have you.
I wonder what you think Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer are thinking, given that I'm sure they're imagining that if they attach themselves to Mamdani, so does every other Democrat running in the midterm.
I think that's absolutely right. I mean, look, think about what she just said. She just said that no matter how outrageous the views of a Democratic candidate are, every Democrat has to endorse them, particularly the leaders. Mamdani is on record with anti-Israel comments, anti-Jewish comments. Think about what he said about the police in New York. Here it is. The New York Police Department is racist, anti-queer, a major threat to public safety. That's what he says about had said in the past about the New York Police Department. Defund it, dismantle it, end the cycle of violence. He's blaming violence in New York on the New York Police Department. That's the kind of thing that could get him into trouble, and probably why Hakeem Jeffries and Schumer are taking some distance.
Okay, got about 60 days before the midterms. Just want to give you a plug for your piece today in the Wall Street Journal. You write, here's what will decide the midterm elections. Independent voters, the economy, and candidate quality will all be crucial factors, and we will dissect that baby to death for the next 2 months.
And you see, it's got the best backdrop of anyone today.
Yeah, enjoy that. Enjoy that, Karl. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you, sir.
On the river fishing later today.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.